Hey, welcome back to another episode of Baxter's Buzz. I am your host, Baxter E. Hall. I have two guests with me today. Two of the most wonderful family members someone could ask for, and two of my favorite people just in general. I have LaKita Hall and
Hi.
hey, and also Tiana Starks.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So one of the things that we talk about privately is always trying to find time to get together. And what better way to have an excuse to connect, but to put something on the calendar, record a pod, talk a little trash, and have some fun. So um, Tiana and I have been sort of making this a habit, and we typically kind of run through some of the topics that I would normally have discussed throughout the week. We'll do a little bit of that, and then we'll bounce around per usual, and somehow there will be some music talk in here, one way or the other. I'm sure of it.
I'm wearing a
Um,
Hendrix shirt, so
there we go. I I I um I was inspired by conversations that I had with you guys, both you guys in separate conversations last week, and it helped me sort of craft that post that I had around boundaries and making sure that you sort of set aside time for yourself, and you have to be willing to tell folks no, right? Even if it's something that may make you feel a little uncomfortable. Kita, can you talk about, kind of start us off, talk about boundaries and sort of some of the lessons that you learned along the way as far as being able to protect your own space and peace and all that good stuff?
Well, that's exactly what I was gonna start with. I learned how to um, operate within my boundaries, or create them or use them by having to protect my peace, especially with this new way of life. Um, it was able to kind of like put you into a situation where you had to like think. You had more time to do so because you weren't running as much. Um, so I often ask myself, like, um, when I have people in my life, you know, do I create a boundary by, still allowing this person to be, in my life, in my circle, or do I just throw the whole friend away, you know?
Yeah.
So I've kind of found a middle by working on myself every day and progressing. I noticed that sometimes my frustration, because this person may not be growing and evolving how I am, um, can be me being frustrated maybe with myself opposed to being frustrated with that person. So just like some self-evaluation, if that makes sense. And a lot of getting to know me kind of like helped me is what helped me to create boundaries with people.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
T, jump in.
My initial thought was I don't think I'm good at creating boundaries, but I think that's not true. I think I'm naturally a person that creates boundaries. So I already have like preset boundaries, but when it comes to people that are within those bounds, I'm bad at establishing boundaries with those relationships. Um, I think, I don't, we were talking about this, Baxter, saying no. Like, I don't want to say no to people, but I've reached a point in my life that if I don't say no, I don't want to say no to people that I care about and I care about their success. Um, but if I don't say no to more of these things, um, it's the outcome is not going to be good for anybody. Like neither of us are going to be satisfied at the end with whatever happens. So I just need to become more comfortable with saying no to people who I have stronger relationships with, because I'm good at saying no if I don't know you, like, or if, you know, or like even establishing boundaries for people. And this could be bad because I found, especially when I was younger, I had my boundaries or walls, I guess, felt like they were so high to people that people were turned off by my personality. Like people, you know, I didn't create or wasn't able to connect with people as easily as I am now, sort of, because I'm generally a closed person, but I've grown. I'm better now.
Yeah. It's like two different things, right? The boundaries piece, I think in my brain is separate from that other piece that you're talking about. I mean, it's easy to have boundaries if ain't nobody knocking on the door, you know, or if they feel like that you can't be approached, right? Before the inner circle, being able to say, you know, not right now, um, not today, right? Not overcommitting oneself, right? Because
Or
you don't want to
offering
let
a
people
different
down.
solution.
Say that again.
I said, or offering a different solution.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah. I've had to, you know, find time on your calendar, right? I mean, and you know, we had some other business that we were trying to take care of early in the week, and we had a time that worked for everyone initially, right? And then we came back, and it was like, okay, let's set, and you were like, no, that time doesn't work for me anymore, right? I was like, okay, well, let's figure it out. And
Yeah.
I think the people that have more going on respect boundaries better than folks that feel like, well, I ain't doing nothing, so I can't imagine you being that busy because I'm not as busy, right?
I think that like also just the respect for people's time, like when you become more busy, and I kind of hate the term busy, but when you have more stuff to do, like legitimately, you respect other people's time more. And that's the thing, like people expect for you to be available based on their schedule, but like don't show up late without calling or something first. Like, you know, if we establish a time, then let's do it. And if it doesn't work, you need to let me know. Or next time I'm gonna be like, I don't know, maybe.
I'm not inviting people. No. Yeah, and that's something, you know, that's something that I had to work on myself with. Shoot, I could tell somebody no, but overcommitting, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it makes me look like a flake, you know, opposed to me just having good intention. But that's not responsible just to have good intentions. You know what I mean? Because you can't commit to something and it's disrespectful. Like you said, you have to respect other people's time. I think that my problem is, like you said, Tiana, with boundaries is I can tell somebody no with no problem because um, I found myself in a position in life to where it would cause people to take advantage of me when saying yes too often, right? So I can say no, but like you said, the people within the bound, it's hard for me to um, set boundaries with them, even though they're within them, you know, like, and that's like, how can I put it? Like, okay, friends. I want to be open with my friends and tell them things that I wouldn't tell other people because, like, duh, you my friend, or duh, we're close, right? And if you sit around me too much, you know I'm like an open book, right? So I want to be able to do that and know that this is the safe zone. So I'm like, how can I check myself? I want to be unapologetically me, you know, but it's like I really want to talk to this person and tell them, you know, something. But last time I did that, it came back to me, you know. So how do you go about like keeping people around who have good like attributes to them, right? But kind of like check yourself and bring it in. Do you keep those people around, or do you just, what do you do with those type of people?
Well, for me, that's a part of the reason people think I'm close, because I'm not messing with you. Like, you already know, like, if it's somebody that I cannot trust, then we can't be real friends. Like, we can be associates. It's just not gonna work out for us. And I've had, you know, I feel like in my life, and I've struggled with this, like as far as friendships go, um, people who I thought I was close to, but we weren't, like it wasn't what I thought it was. And I don't know, that's another topic.
No,
But
stay there. Stay there.
no, because it's completely a whole different topic. It's more about me and like people not really liking honesty that much.
No.
I mean, that's just, you know, I feel like I've had friends who, and maybe it is a part of this discussion, who I thought we had a safe space between us, and I could tell the whole truth and, you know, be honest. And people just don't like to hear, well, the truth from my perspective anyway, or whatever, how I view the facts. And people don't like it. It's not easy for people to digest when somebody's calling you on your stuff. It's probably the same for me, but I have that expectation for my friends. Like, people who are going to be around me, like, I expect for you to tell me and not go tell somebody else, and then it comes back to me from somebody else, because I'm not dealing with that, period.
I'm the same. I'm the same way, but it takes me a long time because I'm like sensitive, super sensitive, right? But when I get upset, all kinds of things fly out of my mouth. Then I'm fake because I done said some mean things about this person because they done tick me off. So I'm at the point where like, hey, bye, you know, and I'm okay with that. But sometimes I'd be like, dang, well, nah, can't do it, you know.
It's
And
hard to let go of friendships.
yeah, it does. It does. But actually, once you see um like how much room you have, because there's time, right? Not everybody, but when you have people that can keep your, you know, business safe, can understand and take constructive criticism when you tell the truth or whatever, um it's less time consuming, it's less stressful, it creates room for you to be more successful, you know. um
Yeah, I was saying room for growth.
yeah,
Like, if you can't, like, that's what it's about. Like, as we are all getting older and growing, we're learning new things. So just being able to share that with your friends and continue to grow together. Because otherwise, I don't know, you grow apart.
Yeah. I had a conversation with a friend this week, and it was like, no, this is the space where you can you can pat yourself on the back here, right? You can play humble everywhere else, right? But you need to have safe spaces where people can be honest with you. But then when you've done something that you're super proud of, it may not be something you want to share with everyone. Um, but this is a space for you to talk your ish, right? And to say, yeah, I did that because there aren't many circles where you can, necessarily where you can feel that way. Let me ask you this. We meet someone, I said it this way, a while back, like you meet someone, like let's say you work with somebody and you kind of just, y'all happen to be at the water cooler at the same time or something like that, and you just kind of hear their little talk, small talk, and you kind of go, oh, okay, they're kind of interesting, right? Kita seems kind of cool, and you kind of become like a fan of someone before you become like a friend of someone, right? It's like you have a conversation, then you have like another conversation, and then you try to figure out, okay, what can, okay, we got a similar sense of humor, but do we like the same type of music? Or how are we raising our kids? Or, and then you just start to like sort of add pieces of this puzzle, and then you look around and go, damn, I got like a real friendship, right? Is it harder to let new people in, or is it for you guys, or is it harder to let to move to let like close friends go, or maybe move them to a different sort of role in your life?
For me, it's harder. It's harder to let people in. Oh well, I would say it's even because, well, it's harder to push people out because, I mean, I had a close friend, like somebody that was around me for, like, we talked every day, and then I filled that void of having to let that person go by writing and progressing with my book. So I'm patting myself on the back right there because I'm like, I don't have time for an idle mind, so I use that in order to create more success in my life. Now, when new people come around, because I had to kick that person out, get that person the book that's been around me for 30 years, you've been around me for 30 days, I don't think so. Yeah, we could kick it. And it's scary because, because people are admirable of people from afar, or it may look like, oh, okay, she seems nice. Like, and then the next thing you know, you have somebody where you have their phone number, but that creates a whole new set of expectations. And me and you had that conversation the other day, and how I feel about expectations. I feel like when you have these expectations, you are leaving yourself susceptible to that person, or you leaving yourself vulnerable to another person, because expectations, you are expecting something. Like, you expect for them to have the certain type of standards, that you create in your mind. But I feel like you should live by more so by requirement. Because I feel like expectations will let you down, because, like if you, my friend, like Tiana said, you required to handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? And be able to, take constructive criticism. But what was I about to say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Let me jump in, Kita. Oh, you found it?
I found it.
Okay, go ahead.
So a new person, I'm about to make it brief. A new person, nah, I'm straight. I'm good.
Yeah.
On a personal level, though.
Okay. Tiana, you go ahead and add to that.
For me, I think, like I was saying earlier, as I've gotten older, I've become more open. So it's gotten easier for me to let people in, I think. But I mean, in a way it has, but like also it's not, because so I think as I've gotten older, it's gotten easier for me to, I don't want to say let people in, but like establish a relationship or some type of relationship with people. A lot of the people that I meet are business contacts. So being able to keep up with people is a function of my job, I guess now. But like definitely letting go of friendships, but I think I've gotten to a place now that the friends that I have, I can't imagine any of the friends that I have like leaving my life. Like I would be devastated in real life. Like it just can't happen. And so it's harder for people to really enter that circle or get to that level with me, but I'm more open to just being social with people.
Yeah, and I had to learn. I learned a lot of that from you, Tiana, and I've mentioned the book relational intelligence. The Reverend Dr. Darius. I'm not. His last name escapes me, but he talks about that. And if we were running a company of 10,000 people, 1,000 people, 10,000, whatever, everybody wouldn't be doing the same job, right? We would have people working in finance. We'd have people working, in sales. We'd have people working, in production or producing whatever, whatever we were producing. Um, and so it feels colder. Kita sort of alluded to this a little bit as far as requirements, right? It feels colder to say, okay, this person is in my life for this, and this person is in my life for this, right? And those things could be both very important, but just completely separate things. I think as long as we're honest with ourselves and honest with our expectations of people, I think that's where, if somebody's disappointed you, let them know. And they may say, hold on, I didn't sign up for that, or I didn't know that that was something you expected of me, or that's not something I can give, or that's not, and sometimes you learn the hard way, right? When trust is broken, somebody said, sharing something they shouldn't be sharing, and now you can heard it from somewhere else. You like, man, how you know, those lessons are learned the hard way, and you may not need to throw the whole friend out. You may, but maybe you need to reassign them to a different role.
And that's establishing a boundary there. I know that this person can't come this close.
No,
Kita?
I tend to cross contaminate when they in there, like when they're in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? So it would be tough for me that with someone that I consider my friend to be like, oh, they're my friend for this or that. I mean, of course you do those things naturally with your friends. You know what I mean? Like, this is my girlfriend that I work out with, or this is my girlfriend that's gonna, be able to give me some spiritual advice, or this is my friend whose shoulder I can cry on. So I get it. On a business level, yes. So networking, I do real estate, wholesaling or whatever. And that it's a lot of people that you can meet and network with that can open up another business opportunity. So yes, those people, it's easy to me, it's easier when it's business. Does that make, what do you guys think?
Yeah, because you have expectations, and I'm guilty of it as well, where I for a long time I only had two buckets, really, maybe 2.5 buckets, right? Where it was like we was like family, like close, and but that circle was super small. So if you were inside of that, the expectations you probably didn't even want. Then like I said, like you may be like, Bax, this is not what I signed up for, right? It's like, because I thought so highly of those people. I think so highly of those people. And then it was like everybody else, right? And if there was like another half a bucket, it was maybe like people maybe approaching that inner circle. Most of them never made it, but it was like these people that you kind of get familiar with, and you cautiously, continue to build with them and grow and see kind of where they fit. But there's so many different levels, and it doesn't have to be some, like I said, cold and calculated thing. You're gonna use certain language around certain people, right? You're not even gonna think about it. You're just gonna you're gonna be like, oh, let me turn that, or let me run that through another filter, right? Or let me, so it's something that I'm learning, that not only can I allow people to sort of enter into these different levels, but also sometimes people need to be, they're a better fit at another circle, like another part of your life. And it's not a demotion, it's just a better fit, right?
I have a friend group who we call each other Team Two, because we met in college. We're on the dance team together, and we have fun together. Like, we hang out together, we plan trips together. And one of them, like, I talked to, I was in her wedding and I talked to her, more frequently. One of them, we kind of like had a altercation. So we never really fixed it. So it's kind of weird, but we're still friends. And then one of them, she, like, okay, so it's what, 4 of us? 2 of them were in my wedding. One of them was not, but she came. And, my wedding was in the Dominican Republic. And so 2 of them were my bridesmaids. My bridesmaids were terrible, but sorry guys. But I don't want to say terrible, but I didn't have
it. You already said it.
For me, I don't want to say they were terrible, but I feel like I was a pretty low-key bride. So they weren't like, I didn't have like all these expectations for them to do things, but I didn't really know. Anyway. So the morning of the wedding, like, I was like, where's everybody at? But the one friend who was not in my wedding party, like, she was there. She was like, oh, you want to go to breakfast? Oh, let's do all of this. But like, we still are not like, she's not like a core friend for me, but like, she plays her role, and I don't want to say plays her role, but like, she's a good friend. And I feel like if I needed her for anything, like, I could call her and she would have no problem helping me. But we're not like super, super close best friends, but we're still really good friends.
Go ahead, Kita.
See, I have people like, I don't want to sound like Shrek, like an ogre, like I'm over here like, it's not like that. It's like I said, it's my, even though people, like, the person that I'm no longer friends with, you guys know this person, and you guys would not have let probably dang, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. Shoot, it is what it is. Y'all probably wouldn't let this person be super close to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, man, if I said who I was talking about, you'd be like, oh my God, like, come on. But see, I know people have said those things, but I'm like, but this is my friend, but maybe some people don't know how to be a friend. Like, I have people in those spaces, like, for instance, one of my girlfriends that I used to work at United Shore with, she was so sweet to me. Like, I came to work one day, she had put like a gift card on my desk. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. We hang out when we have time, we talk when we have time, and we're okay with that. We care about each other. I have a girlfriend who I know that if I call her, it's gonna be a good time. You know what I mean? I have people that I want to go. like Tiana said, out of town with. I have people that I would never go out of town with. You know what I'm saying? But so I didn't want to sound too harsh, you know. And you, Baxter, and you, Tiana, are helping me along the way. Like I'm like feeling better about the boundaries that I'm gonna create once we're done with this with Baxter's Buzz. So thank you.
Well, clearly what you're going through is fresh. So you may feel a little like, yeah, like you're coming across a little more harsh, but it's this is where you are right now, right? We're reflecting, Tiana and I mostly, and you're in the middle of something. It was sound like it was a hard decision. And one that kind of hurts your feelings, right? Depending on your expectations of what a friend is, they may not get the opportunity to really prove themselves until 25 years in, right? It may be an instance that happens where you go, ah, man, you ain't really, I thought in my brain you would respond one way, and here you are, have responded completely different. But we never, and it was 5 years in, 15 years in before that opportunity sort of presented itself. And then you have history with folks. History don't have anything to do with present or future. And so sometimes we need to leave people where they are. Thank them for their role that they've played, and then tell them I'll see you when I see you. Let's wrap in true form. We have to ask. So what is the question of today? What are we trying to answer here, Tiana?
I've been thinking about this over the last 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm not sure. I guess I would say it is. I don't know. I got a couple of things. So, should you categorize your friends into, different buckets? And how do you create healthy boundaries?
Yeah. And are you cold if you do set those different expectations? Is there something wrong with you? Because people will say, well, all my friends are this or that. So should you categorize your friends? Kita, what do you think?
Absolutely. Now that I'm hearing, I'm not going to cross contaminate anymore, because this friendship divorce, it does hurt a little bit, but I am definitely going to categorize. No more cross contamination.
It's tough because Go ahead, T.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's tough because sometimes you don't know where people belong until you throw something out there, right? And you go, damn, I don't believe I just said that. And then they respond in a way where they're like, they get it. And then they maybe share something with you. And then that's where then you kind of grow from those things. And then sometimes you see that look on somebody's face when you overshare, and you go, okay, well, let me not share that with this person again, or things, and of that nature, right? It's tough. It's tough to know, but what I do know is that I think I've tried to be more open to different levels of friendships and be okay with that, and not allow disappointments from the past to impact a potential great relationship. I have difficulty describing people sometimes because they're in those weird spaces where it's like we've been doing business together, we've been networking, we ain't kicked it, we haven't gone out for drinks, you know, or we haven't gotten the families together yet or anything like that. So it's like I don't know how to describe them, but I do know that they're an important piece of what I'm doing. And I think if you have an open mind for that stuff, that even with knowing that there's going to be disappointments, I think that the benefits will definitely outweigh any sort of disappointments that you have. So this has been good. This has been good. I really wish, you know, we always say this, but it's like there's always so much to talk about and so many other things that lead to these other things. But let's definitely do this again. I feel like it's basically, so what's the question with our special guest, right? Kita, thank you for joining us. I'm definitely looking forward to you know, speaking with you more just as your family member as you go through this.
Me too. Can you talk to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to me. We
just got to get on Tiana's calendar.
Yeah, please calendar out, girl. You think I said yes? I'm getting better at that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we need to do this Zoom call off the grid so I can get my Samuel L. Jackson back on. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I can say bad words.
we can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. Thank you guys. And whoever is watching, whatever platform that you're watching on or listening on, please comment if you like what you heard. If you didn't like what you heard, share it. And thanks again for checking us out.
And I love my bridesmaids. I love y'all. I really do.
And don't share it with my friend I'm going through my friend divorce with. For those people who know what I'm talking about.
All right, we're gonna cut the rest of this out. If y'all got something else to say, it ain't gonna be recorded. Peace, y'all.